The last 15 or 20 years in Turkey have seen that model challenged by large movements that have been religious in orientation, but also claiming to be full participants in the secular consensus within Turkey. What is the moment of change where that traditional Kemalist view of secularism ends and the new movements that are both religious but claiming to respect secularism emerge? What happens in Turkey to make that occur?
I think this started in the 1950s. If you ask the question to real Orthodox or fundamentalist Republicanists, they will start also with multi-party system, because this was the real challenge, you know. And so it started with Democrat Party tradition, heritage, but especially after the 1980s, where in every country, every Muslim majority country, Islam started to be more politicized, became a new active force in politics. That this became a new force, because before then it was more conservative parties. And after 1980, after the especially Iranian Revolution in Iran, which spread out from there also to other Muslim countries, it gave a new impetus to Islamic visibility in the public sphere. So that became a very important challenge, because Turkey had, as I said, a kind of a political legitimate heritage, that is a possibility to take some claims of Islam or conservative claims within the parliamentary system. But political Islam, since the post-1980 period, first of all, didn't care about parliamentary politics. But what is happening now in Turkey is that today's political party in Turkey is also an outcome of this meeting between religious conservative and more radical but more modern Islam. Do you see the complexity of the situation? That is, new actors, to put it more sociologically, I would say, the new actors of these conservative or religious reformist, let's put it, Democrat parties, are also more urbanized, more educated. They are new elites, in a way. They are new counter-elites, but also participating to the system through legitimate means, that is, doing competitive politics, for instance, or education. These girls who claim their right to put on the veil, wear the headscarf in the universities, means this is no longer the traditional Muslim girl in an Anatolian village, but asking for her access to high education. So in a way, this is the success of the project of modernity, which required equal access of girls and boys to education, right? But in a way, it didn't follow the assimilation politics, not like westernized like me or others, but turned this through a kind of assertive religious visibility in the public sphere, which disturbs and unsettles the fundamental understandings of the Turkish secular education and politics.
So you're talking about a process that over 10 or 15, 20 years is essentially from the bottom up, in which these movements, given more opportunity to participate in a democratic system, do actually participate, and they come forward with, you know, new versions of what it means to participate in public life in Turkey. At this point, it would seem that these movements, whether they're political or social, have attained a majority in Turkey. That Turkey, working within a democratic framework, is also integrating political parties that are, you know, involved in reformulating what it means to bring religion back to some degree into the public sphere.
That's right. Just let me turn just to your previous point, the issue of participation. What happened is this upward social mobility. Many people who were observing the Middle Eastern countries and Islamic politics were suggesting that these people, those who were turning towards Islam in their political agency or even in their personal definitions of self, like piety, outside of Turkey, but also for Turkey, people were supposing that these people were frustrated, they were alienated, they didn't have enough diplomas, they didn't have enough employment, and so on. It was a crisis situation. And I was arguing, on the contrary, based on the Turkish case, this was an upwardly social, it was an upward social mobility, meaning that these people were moving from small Anatolian cities to big cities, but also educational success and economic-wise as well, getting enriched, and political also a voice. So there are three ways of participating in a society: education, market, and politics. And in all these three cases, I would say Muslim pious middle classes in Turkey today is formed through this movement. That is, both they define a certain level of piousness. They want, for instance, piousness doesn't mean something only ideological or political, but it's a way of life as well. And they have their own hotels, like four-star hotels with beaches, separate beaches. It's a more in conformity with piousness, definition of Islamic way of life, but still it's transforming. It's getting into consumption patterns. Right? It's like you can have like something like Club Med, but without drinking, but yet to have a bar, but with fruits, and it's very close to health issues as well. So the issues of dressing, of course, codes is very important as well. So how to live in conformity with Islam, but it's already a question, of course, which requires a kind of blending with modernity. So that's what is happening when we speak about participation of these groups, formation of a middle class, pious middle class, in a pluralistic political system. So not imposing ideological Islam. And also through education. So you have elites and educated elites and engineers or lawyers or doctors.
All of these doctors, engineers,
Exactly.
lawyers are all products of this new social movement within Turkey.
Exactly. It's a kind of movement. It's not only a political move, but those people who try to combine in a new way their Muslimness and with their modern way of life, which of course is something that we cannot name yet. Are they really traditional? No. That is the issue. The word is not traditional because they do not look like traditional Muslims because they moved into new experiences of life. I think there's a kind of spatial transgression which creates a problem. For instance, the headscarf issue. The naming also is a problem because we didn't name the traditional headscarf in that way. Nobody even has seen it. It didn't become visible to the eye. We thought it was something in the suburban areas, working class, traditional women. So it was not an issue. When it becomes an issue, public issue, is that there is a transgression. That means spatial transgression.
It moves into a new place where it hadn't been seen before.
Not only a new place, but a place where elites thought they had the hegemony over.
They had control.
They had control.
Well,
that
so
is university campuses. The word campus is an American campus, Western life. So when you see the headscarf girls in the university campuses, that is very unsettling for the secular imaginary and secular elites in Turkey and everywhere.